Good morning. I would start with a quick question. Who of you has experienced the quality issues in the last 2 years leading to some kind of unwanted dealership visit? No one? No. I had several of them, but I don't tell which car. And this is also a big problem for the OEMs. If you look into the annual reports, you see that an average OEM is spending between roughly 1 and up to 3% of the complete revenue on quality issues, depending on the size of the OEM. That's several hundred million to a few billion US dollar every year just to fix quality issues. The average is roughly about 2%. And we will now explore what can be done to reduce that. We did a survey among roughly 40 OEMs asking them how they predict the quality costs will change over time. And you can see here that the majority think it will still increase. Why should quality costs increase if we now have AI, ML, all these tools? And here's a list of levers why they think it will further increase. Products are getting more complex, software and hardware getting mixed. There's more customization, more variants of vehicles and features. There's more complex issues, especially if you think about distributed functions running on different control units. The OEMs are speeding up the development process, but the quality processes cannot really hold up with this. We developed a blueprint how AI and ML can really help to reduce cost and accelerate the quality process. And all the orange boxes show where you can basically apply artificial intelligence and machine learning along the full quality process. It's really in the beginning, you can really track and see if there are some kind of microtrends which might lead into a quality issue and detect them earlier, which reduces then the time to detect and also the costs. You can use them to prioritize issues. So based on what would it cost for the OEM, what is the customer impact, you can use AI, ML to really evaluate what would be the impact. You can use AI and ML to basically understand what is the root cause, and especially for complex functionality, which is running on different control units involving hardware and software. I think this can really help to speed up the root cause analysis. You can also find out which cars needs to be updated, where the quality issue might arise next, so you can even predict future quality issues. And then at the end you can see, does it really help? Does my fix help all these cars and remove this quality issue? From the same survey, we asked the OEMs, what do they think is like the savings you can generate through AI and ML in the quality department. The majority think it's 5 to 10% saving, and that would have direct impact to the EBIT. So if you reduce the quality costs by 100 million, you have 100 million more EBIT. The challenge is still most of the OEMs are in the early or intermediate stages of deploying AI and ML in their quality department. So they have started to collect the data, they are experimenting, but they haven't really rolled out the solution fully. And exactly this is what we want to discuss now also with Sven and Arnon. Sven will basically show us how AWS can help to collect the data, build the data platform to really get the saving, and then Arnon will show some of the use cases.
Thank you, Martin. Maybe give me the clicker. Yes, good morning in the name of AWS as well. So, what Martin just said as part of his framework was that he has shown us that quality data comes from across the entire enterprise, right? So we have to incorporate data from the design, from the parts supply chain management, from the field data that are in the aftermarket getting collected. We have built these the generative AI data foundation model where we really try to federate all data that are distributed across the enterprise and even outside the enterprises, because the data foundation matters. As better the data foundation is, as more we can increase the quality of the predictable outcomes that Martin just explained. So to gain the money, we have to do a little bit of investment in getting all these data in the right order at the right place. by saying we have to get all the data at the right place, it doesn't automatically mean to generate value out of data, that all the data still have to sit at one common place, right? So these all analogic of data lakes basically are over. We have to access in the era of machine learning and particular Gen AI, we can collect data wherever they sit, right? This is one of the beauty of Gen AI, right? So we can a little bit bridge the data gap that we're having often and see in enterprises by more modern technologies and bring those together. And we call that basically the data mesh as a where we use Gen AI to create this data mesh. We have built a common and standardized format in help companies like yours in building this data mesh as a foundation layer for the particular business outcomes you're trying to achieve. And one of the outcomes we want to dive a little bit deeper today is on the quality, warranty, and recall aspects of the automotive industry. And by saying so, I would like to hand over to Anon, who tells us what will really be the business outcomes out of the business framework after we generated all these data federations in one common data zone and make them accessible and usable for get the money back, right? At the end of the day, we want to decrease costs. So, Anon.
Okay. Show me the money, right? So, like Martin said earlier, we read this article back in 2021, and we were really impressed because the blueprint that McKinsey put together was really showing a format, a methodology of how to address the after-sales process. Now, you would note that Martin mentioned that these elements should be developed or addressed using ML and AI. Well, what we did is went in and basically developed a quality detection application, an early warranty quality detection application that addresses every single element that could be and should be addressed with AI and ML. Now, with today's modern agentic AI and purpose-built ML supervised models, those capabilities are able to be addressed early on. Now, most of you who work in after sales or data analytics are probably aware and pretty much addressing many of the known issues after claims rack up. So the world is divided into pre-claim and post-claim. So whether you have a dealer management system, whether you're analyzing the repair orders or looking at DTCs, which OEMs have been doing over the last decades, right? We were looking to develop things that come earlier than that, even before customers starts visiting the dealer. And those 6 capabilities are what PQD, proactive quality detection, is all about. Now, to those of you who don't know Upstream, we've been around for 7 years. Our platform helps 17 OEMs monitor over 30 million vehicles as we speak. But as we developed the platform, right, we were looking into the pre-claim stage of being able to proactively detect anomalies in the field, being able to detect trends, not only in DTCs, but in telematics, connected vehicle data, events, all the way to dive deep into a single vehicle and looking at the ambient temperature and the specific DTC or the trend, right, in the transmission oil. What happened to that particular DTC? And by all means, when claim starts to rack up, you want to prioritize. It's like a CIS, a crime scene. You want to triage and treat the most urgent issues, the most burning recalls earlier, right, before it becomes a 50 or 50,000 vehicle problem. And last but not least, and this is something really unique to Upstream, we've been known for the digital twins, which is a digital representation of every single vehicle, a live digital representation. But the digital signature is the manifestation of a quality issue. How does it represent in the field? What are the symptoms? And how bad is the issue at hand? What could be the root cause analysis or what would be the leads to the root cause analysis. And all of those were not available before advanced ML and AI came in. So even after you have a supervised model deploying ML to prioritize and provide digital signatures, and you deploy countermeasure, and you believe that the countermeasure is in place, you want to measure how effective that is. And by doing so, Upstream provides a detection, a no-code detection powered by AI, that you're able to measure how effective that countermeasure was. So if you look at the way that OEMs have been addressing, and we've been developing this product over the last 3 years based on the blueprint, and we've been listening to tens of executives like yourselves of how to address the issue. Now, obviously, it takes time, whether it's weeks or months. The reactive process that waits until customer notices the issue, visit the dealer, then warranty claims start to pile up, and then you need to look for the faulty part, replicate that in the lab. It's a reactive, lengthy process. Now, what we did, and if there's only one slide which you're gonna remember, this is it. Because we help OEMs address the quality issues even before the customer notices it. So if you follow the data, you basically now provide forensic analytics, forensic field investigation. So, and we now have various use cases. I'm going to touch one now, but allowing OEMs to really start the investigation earlier and get to root cause analysis at least 30% faster. And if that is weeks or months of non-defected cars leaving the factory, those are millions of dollars, okay, for a single quality issues. Sometimes if it's a powertrain issue, could be tens of millions of dollars for a single quality issue. Now, last year, 2024, the industry spent $150 billion on warranty and recalls. Now, depending on how big your OEM is, whether your spend is $10 billion this year or 15 or 20, this worth a lot of money. So if we take one use case, and we're about to wrap up, if we take one use case where the customer complains we're reporting slowdowns or sharp loss of acceleration and check MIL, right? Those are the symptoms. But then when the dealers started to try and address this issue, and they tried to do inverter cooling system flushes and water pump replacement, the problem did not go away. So wrong countermeasures or wrong treatment. And the impact is obviously safety risks, repeated dealer visits, no defect found, customer dissatisfaction. When we look at this use case and we did the analysis, and if you look not only at live telemetry anomaly, but also into the particular DTC, and you were able to notice that the inverter thermal readings, temperature rose as high as 90%, was showing that something was terribly wrong with that inverter. Now, if you add on top of it AI capability, and Upstream developed Ocean AI, which allows field investigation and warranty and recall to really ask your data anything and hypothesize and ask questions that were never be able to be answered before. Together with it and the digital signature, OEMs are able to get to the root cause analysis much faster. Last but not least, Sven and Martin talked about the data. Those are the data sources that allow you to basically investigate and get to the root cause analysis way faster. The basic ones are vehicle data and DTCs. But any data source that you collect, whether it's warranty claim, repair orders, the bill of material, the VIN data, the factory data, customer satisfaction, augments this picture. All of it, whether it sits on your AWS Redshift or Athena or another data lake or a data mesh, stays within your OEM cloud. No data leaves the premise. So Upstream is installed within a Kubernetes cluster using all the wonderful services of Bedrock and IoT and tens of AWS services. Data never leaves the premise, which means that all of that analysis is done within your AWS cloud. Last but not least, if you want to see a demo, we're right here behind the Reply booth. And with that said, thank
Very
you so
good.
much.
Big round of applause, everyone, for Arnon, Martin, and Sven. They're going to be standing.